You can see here my little card. So that's the name of my business. I've recently rebranded actually because I had called my business Integral Marketing, and now I've changed to M&D Marketing, primarily because people know me, and I was finding people didn't actually know or remember my business name, so I decided to switch to my own name. So I suppose today I'm going to talk to you about LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you how you can use your LinkedIn profile to help you to get work, be it that you're looking for work as an employee, but equally if you are a business owner like myself, how you can get people to find you through Google, and that's obviously really important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and share the screen. This is my first webinar, so you're going to have to bear with me. I am going to try and bring you through all the different elements of LinkedIn, and I'm hoping that this webinar will be of benefit to you from that point of view. So first of all, I will share the screen and I will show you the presentation that I have at present. So just bear with me. So basically, I will show you my LinkedIn account. So first of all, I will show you my presentation that I've prepared. This is just a little bit easier because you can see sequentially what I'm talking about. I will show you a little bit about what I've changed more recently in my LinkedIn profile, but essentially today is around branding yourself on LinkedIn. And I suppose first of all, LinkedIn is a professional social media platform whereby you can have your CV online, and basically other professionals will find you on LinkedIn. And of course you want to put forward your best foot. You want to give a good impression, and that's really, really important. So my name is Emma D'Arcy, and I have a business degree with German and a master's in marketing. You can see there that was my graduation, and I'm also a mompreneur. So basically I'm an entrepreneur who is also a mom. So first of all, I suppose really I have 20 years experience in business. I have worked in the bloodstock industry, the retail industry. I've worked extensively in sales in particular. I've sold everything from pens to water filtration systems to horses to you name it. I've sold to basically both online and offline. I've also done a lot of market research for businesses in Ireland, in the UK, in Dubai, Saudi, and so I have a lot of experience with that. And I suppose really my love is marketing and marketing in general. And I suppose really I love sitting down with people and helping them and educating them on how to market their businesses, in particular small business owners. I love working with people. I love showing them the opportunities that they could have with their business, how to do it, and I love enabling people that they can do marketing for themselves, in particular social media. There's many different platforms, and I help them to decide what's the best platforms for them and also how to leverage them for their business. So I suppose really what I do is help people increase their brand awareness through digital media and or traditional channels, because I do believe strongly that you need to network. If you have an online business, obviously you need to network online, but equally if you have an offline business, you need to network in offline as well, you know, face to face with people. I conduct one-to-one and group social media training sessions. This is my first webinar, so basically usually I do large groups or small groups where I give live group sessions, and I help clients, I suppose, really with their marketing strategy as well. I do market research, and I suppose really the biggest thing that I do is help people to make money in the smartest way possible. That's the easiest way I can say it. So skip on from that. So we have digital media strategy, and I suppose really when you're looking at it, it can be all very confusing because you know you need a website, you've got search engine optimization, you've got your blog, your forums, your news, your web release marketing, your images, your videos, you know, the social media marketing. There's so much involved. It's like, where do you start? What do you do? So for today, I'm obviously going to focus mainly on LinkedIn. And the reason that I have chosen LinkedIn to start with is because I'm a B2B business, that is business to business. So my clients are already in business. They're not consumers. They're not your customers that go into the shop, into Tesco's, so on and so forth. So what I'm focusing on is what's important when you want to create connections in business, because often it can be inherently difficult to have, to understand where to go and how do you not alone meet people in person, but how do you introduce yourself online as well. Okay, so really the objectives of social media is, first of all, it's social. So you need to build relationships. So it's very important to build relationships, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn that we're doing today, and help you to understand. So it's social, it's online consumer generated material. Obviously on LinkedIn as well, you can create material as well. That material can help to establish you as an expert. Examples of social media then are video sharing sites like YouTube, Flickr. There are photo sharing sites, virtual world commerce is eBay. You'd be familiar with quite a lot of them. And obviously business, or LinkedIn is the business networking platform. There's so much out there. We've got Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. I don't have all the icons there, but you can see there's so much to do, and it's a case of deciding which one to focus on. So for today, obviously it's LinkedIn. So social media, the impact that it has is that it magnifies the impact consumer conversations have in the workplace. So for the first time since advertising began, people, customers have a say as well. And that means that as business owners, we have opportunities, but also we need to communicate ourselves effectively on social media platforms. And I suppose really what you want to do is put across a unified message that reflects your values. You can see here that I'm talking about Procter & Gamble, a really, really big company, a global company. And their message needs to come across on LinkedIn with the people that are working for them, on Facebook, on their website, on blogs, whatever it is they're doing, there needs to be a unified message. And the same goes for you as an entrepreneur, and equally as if you're an employee, that you have a message that you're communicating to people as to what you stand for. So you can see here, again, just an illustration of the two-way conversation that goes on social media and how important it is to build relationships. We're not just in isolation, we are building relationships online. Excuse me, I seem to have a tick in my throat. So I suppose really people or consumers or other business people like to network with people who have interests and desires that are similar to their own. So a saying that's in sales is people like those like them. So essentially, if somebody recognizes something similar in you, typically they like that. So they feel that they know you, they feel they can trust you based on the fact that they have similar qualities. So for example, if you come from the country and you've got a country accent, or you come from the city and you've got a city accent, people recognize that similarity and feel fractionally that they know you. What that does for you as a business means that that people trust you more typically. And this has been shown time and time again. So it's very, very important that you understand that when you're filling out your profile on LinkedIn, when you're filling out any of your profiles on social media. You're also looking on shared interests and values. So if you look at the Dove's campaign for Real Beauty, that's a very good campaign, and really they're trying to get down to the nuts and bolts of authentic women, what is real beauty and not just Photoshop beauty. It's a very, very successful marketing campaign, and it showed people that Dove understood them. And many people would buy Dove products just on that basis, that they feel that the brand, that the business understands who they are, what they stand for, and that they're actually trying to give good products for women with real beauty, as the caption says. You're looking at Obama as well as a political person, and that basically he is positioned in a certain way during his political campaigns in order that people can identify with him and that they'll follow him as well. You've got Toyota, which if you look at any of these, Toyota is a brand, Dove is a brand, Obama is a brand as a person, Harley Davidson, Harry Potter, they are all things, bar Obama obviously. And therefore, why would you like one over the other? For example, if you look at Toyota, there's many other car brands as well. Why would people follow Toyota. So they've got the Open Road blog, and the reason for that is that they wanted to appeal to consumers in a way that the consumer felt that they were talking to them directly. And the same with Harley Davidson. There's a lot of case studies done about Harley Davidson in particular, where in the 80s they would have been known to effectively be going out of business. And then they got together and kind of thought, well, had a rethink about their brand, and they realized how much Harley Davidson meant to people, that people identified with Harley Davidson, that it is a brand that they identified with. So, they really like that. So Harry Potter is the same. So I suppose really what you're looking at is people will identify with people like them. So I suppose really what I'm trying to say is network effectively online, get across, communicate your message very effectively, and LinkedIn is a really, really good way to do that. Okay, you're influencing consumer behavior, and not just consumer behavior, but other business owners' behavior. When they're aware of your product or service, if they don't know about you, they cannot buy from you. So it's really, really important that you are on these social media platforms, because people, they will, investigate. They will go on your website, they will go to your LinkedIn profile, and they will get information, and they will find out, what you're like, what they feel from your profile, what you're like. They will have opinions. They will look at your opinions, your attitudes. Purchase behavior is defined by the type of information that you as a business owner provide to other business owners, and their purchase behavior will be based on what you have communicated online. There's also post-purchase communication. So, if somebody has bought from you, to follow that up and say, delighted that you've bought this, hope to keep in contact, or, depending on what the transaction was, that you would have post-purchase communication. And I suppose really the reason for this is because there is a thing called cognitive dissonance, which essentially means people are sorry that they bought something. So you need to reaffirm to them that buying from you was a good decision, and that's really important if you want to upsell to them again. So post-purchase communication is really important. And then the last thing then is evaluation, that you're literally evaluating, can you improve? Is there anything you can do any differently that can help people to decide to come and use your product or service? I suppose another aspect of marketing is that audiences everywhere are tough. They don't have time to be bored or browbeaten, as you can see here. We need to stop interrupting people, give people what they're interested in, and be what people are interested in. So if you are, for example, an accountant, that you give them interesting information that's relevant and of value to people. That if you're a marketing person, that whatever it is that you service or product that you have, that you stop interrupting people by saying we've got 50% off and things like that. Stop selling, start nudging, start helping people, start giving value, and people will like you for that. And really what you're looking at is a mind shift that will make us relevant to today's community, to consumers. I can't even speak today, so apologies. So instead of telling and selling, you're building relationships. And for LinkedIn, this is really important because essentially you're building relationships online. So LinkedIn and Google or anything online is your new business card. If you cannot be found online, if your profile cannot be found, people, the other, or in the UK, basically large books to help you to find businesses in those countries. And essentially, I never use them. I burnt them. All I do is go to Google and I search for a plumber, I search for new jewelry or whatever it is I'm looking for, and I go to Google. That is your business card and everyone else's too. So people need to be able to find you. Another important point as well is helpful is the new viral. So in other words, if you are seen to help people, they hold you in good esteem. They're delighted that you help them with information, with helpful advice, whatever it is. And you're positioned in their mind in a very positive frame, as opposed to saying sale, or interrupting them on a constant basis. So be helpful in your business as much as you can be. Okay, LinkedIn. So today's webinar is all about LinkedIn. The precursor was just really, I suppose, to give you an outline of what social media is, why it's important to brand yourself on LinkedIn, and that, just to give a little precursor for that. So LinkedIn then is really your CV online. That's how I look at it. And why is it important for B2B? Well, first of all, a couple of things you can look at that are really, really simple, as that it's important to have your profile filled out properly. And just the reason for that is that people, if you don't fill it out, people will not know what you do. You haven't communicated effectively. If you were sending a CV into somebody, you would make sure you spell check, that you write on, you write really well, and that people can get a very clear idea of who you are from your LinkedIn profile. So if you don't fill it out, people can't know what you do. Equally, if it's badly written, it looks like you can't be bothered. So it's really important that you fill it out properly, every element of it, that you spell check, that it comes across really, really well, and that essentially you establish yourself as an expert in your field online. So, it's an important way of people verifying who you are, particularly in the service industry. So a lot of people would find me as a marketing consultant online, and the way they find me is not through my website, but through LinkedIn. So they go into my LinkedIn profile, they have a look at my picture, they kind of figure, she's smiling, she looks, half normal, she looks like she's approachable. Is she an industry expert? And, they make all these decisions really quickly. And if I don't have my profile filled out, they cannot know whether I am the right person for them. If I have, that will help them to make their decision. Another way that LinkedIn is used is to be introduced to business contacts. So, for example, if people in your LinkedIn network, people that you're already connected to, are connected to somebody that you would like to get to know in a business context, you can ask to be introduced. You also have recommendations on LinkedIn, which I find really, really powerful, because if I'm looking for an accountant or I'm looking for somebody on LinkedIn, I basically will go to their recommendations and I'll say, okay, well, have people recommend them? And if they have, it means that somebody has individually, and independently rather, gone out and recommended your service. And if you have quite a few of those that, looks good for you, and it means it takes out, I suppose, the risk element out of choosing that particular service if I know they've been recommended on multiple occasions. So that's really important. What you've got to remember as well is to ask for recommendations. You do need to ask for them and get people to fill it out. You can also ask for referrals. So on a referral basis, it's really good. And essentially, LinkedIn is really good for generating business. Okay. Again, you can create groups in LinkedIn. You can build and leverage those groups. You can drive traffic from your LinkedIn to your website, and vice versa. You can help build an email list, because you can literally take all of your contacts and put them in an Excel file and upload them into your email provider list, and you can obviously email them on a marketing campaign. Now, one thing I'd say about that is just be a little bit careful and be a bit circumspect as to who, first of all, you're connected to, and are they the right people to be sending certain messages to. So basically, you need a little bit of thought around that. You can do Q&As. I suppose one thing is, are you in a LinkedIn group? What's a great thing to do is actually be the administrator for a LinkedIn group. It puts you at the top of the table, so to speak, and establishes you as an expert, and people tend to refer to you for asking for things. And that can be really good in terms of positioning you as an expert if that's what you want to do. Okay. So LinkedIn stats are, there's over 200 million on LinkedIn at this point. There's 74% of college degrees. 82 out of the 100 Fortune 100s use LinkedIn for hiring. That's another really important aspect of LinkedIn, is essentially people get hired from LinkedIn. I get sent jobs every day, basically. And the types of jobs I get sent are marketing jobs. And the reason for that is I have filled out my profile and it is all about marketing. So that's why I get sent marketing jobs. And I get sent really good jobs. I've had recruiters emailing me saying, would you be interested in such and such a job? It's kind of ironic. When you are working, you always find work type of thing. But equally, if you're on LinkedIn, recruiters more and more are looking and searching for people on LinkedIn. And if you filled out your profile, you're much more likely to be approached. So it's B2B, business to business, the LinkedIn stats. They're also saying that the average household salary for a LinkedIn person or for a LinkedIn household is $109,000, which works out, I think, around 85,000 to 90,000 euros a year for a household. So there tends to be large disposable income. or that they, they've got good jobs, they can afford, certain things. So where that's important is not just for B2B, but even B2C in certain instances. Can you tap into the LinkedIn market and position yourself on LinkedIn to people that have higher disposable incomes than normal? Okay, the other thing is half of the decision makers are in the household, particularly the mothers, they would say. The other thing is you can export your database into CSV file, and groups represent great opportunities. So these are just like the snapshot of what's important on LinkedIn. LinkedIn groups, then you can create a group relevant to your business. So you can invite your contacts, you can create valuable articles for others. Basically you're establishing yourself as the expert in your area. You want people to like and share it. Again, there's that whole multiplier effect, whereby when somebody likes it and shares any articles that you write, that people, not just people that you know and connected to, see it, but also the connections of whoever has liked your article will see it as well. So it creates like a wider audience, if you like. You can add a LinkedIn share button to your website and to your articles. That's really important. And a group owner probably needs to send about 4 messages a week and email the group once a week as well. So these are just kind of stats around if you're in a LinkedIn group and why it's important. Okay, so what does it look like? This is a slightly older version, and I'll switch to what it looks like more now. So essentially, if you're looking to create groups, or you're looking at your profile, first of all, what you've got to look at is your profile picture. So I essentially went out and got a professional photograph of a smiling picture of myself. And the reason for that is that people would see you as being approachable, which is really important in business, because if you're not seen as approachable, people basically won't buy from you. They see you perhaps as being difficult to approach, difficult to deal with. So, being approachable is really important. It's a known psychological fact and very, very important. So please get a professional photograph taken of you smiling. Then you're looking at the different parts of LinkedIn, and I suppose really you've got the homepage, you've got your profile, your contacts, your groups if you're in them. You have a list of groups that you've followed, groups you may like, suggestions. There's a groups directory. So if you're looking for specific groups with specific subject lines, you also can create a group as well. So you can see here, you can do that. There's also jobs online. Your inbox is basically where emails are sent to your inbox. These are companies that are online. You've got your news and you've got more as well. So what's important? Well, here you can also see there's the search. So that can be quite important in terms of, if you're looking for people, if you're looking for connections, you can search for them there. You can also see there that it's suggesting people you may know. Okay, so, and you can see more. So if you want to see more, so if you want to connect to people, basically these are people that are recommended to you based on the current connections that you have. So it's a very good way of connecting with people as well if you haven't already connected with them on LinkedIn. Okay, when you are, doing your group, if you're creating a group, you just basically are putting your logo up. You're agreeing that that's okay to upload that. You're putting your group name, your group type, your summary as well, your description, website if that's what it is, the group owner's email if anyone wants to send you an email. You also can an auto join where people can join automatically or request to join. Okay, so depending on the group and whether you want people just to be able to join automatically or whether you want to approve them, you can have different ways of accessing it. Then you can send this, anything you're posting to Twitter. You can check if the language is English, whether the location is in a single geographic location or not, and then to check to confirm you've read the terms of service, and you can create a group. Okay, so if you're looking at creating your profile, you basically can edit your profile, view it, you can look for recommendations, your profile organizer, and following as well. So also when you're looking at your LinkedIn, what do you need to look for? And I suppose really here you're looking at, you can see who's viewed your profile. You can click into this and it'll give you the last few days of who exactly has looked at your profile. You can see how many connections that you have. You can also see on your homepage, what everyone's doing. So if somebody has a new connection, if somebody's birthday, if somebody's got a new job, you will be given a notification. Also, if they have produced any articles, you will get to see that too. Right. Okay, well, again, just a screenshot of what your LinkedIn page will look like. Basically, this is again is the home page. You can see up here it says home, it's just grayed out there. Essentially, you can share an update. You can type something there and then share it. Okay, and then that will be seen by all your connections. You can see here SlideShare. SlideShare is owned by LinkedIn, and basically you can create like for what is for all the worlds like presentation style, and you can put that on SlideShare. And for any information, again, it's establishing you as an expert and can be a great way of branching out to a wider audience as well. Here then is just basically lots of stories that are going out. At the moment, I follow a lot of stuff in the tech world, so if there's different things going on, I will get notifications, and you can see here what's trending, information technology, electronic manufacturing, and different people having different opinions about it as well. LinkedIn also recommends news for you as well. Again, you can see here this is a different day. 9 people have viewed my profile in the past day. And I suppose another important aspect of LinkedIn is, your actual profile. What does it look like? What do you say? So you can see here, I've made a couple of changes, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And essentially, first of all, the picture is really important and genuinely a smiling picture. At my age, black and white pictures are great. You can also see that I have qualifications. So I have a BBS, which is Bachelor of Business Studies, and I also have a Master's in Marketing as well. I'm also owner or director of my own business, which I call M&D Marketing. I'm a social media consultant, social media trainer, I'm a speaker, and also more recently, which I don't have here, which I'll show you in a minute, I'm CMO, which is Chief Marketing Officer of an app called Fun Kid Days. You can see here I've over 500, hang on, where's my cursor? 500 connections. I worked with the University of Limerick, integral marketing. I've also done work with TU, I can't even pronounce it, TU Education, Old Security Mobile Shredding, Retail Research. My education was with the University of Limerick. So then if you look at lower down, you can see, again, I'm owner at Integral Marketing, which I have changed recently to a new brand, which is M&D Marketing. Previously, again, I'll show you some changes I've made over time. I was marketing consultant for the MBA at the University of Limerick. Basically, it is really like your CV. So I put down my past, where I worked, where my education is, what I've done. At that stage, 5 people have recommended me. I have 479 connections, my personal website, any other information. So really what you want is for people to get a quick snapshot as what you do. Is it relevant to them? They want to know, how they can get in contact with you, what's your email, and they will quickly make that decision just from looking at your profile. So you can see here, you can write up your profile, your LinkedIn, your Twitter accounts and whatnot. You can also write a summary. And again, it's very like a CV. So literally this is a snapshot of what you do. So I've kind of written just a bit about, I have a Master's in Marketing, a degree in Business and a diploma in IT. And just I've worked in businesses. So just for people to get an idea that I haven't just popped up, I genuinely have an academic background in business and marketing. I also have 20 years of experience. And to a lot of people that are making decisions on hiring a marketing consultant, it's quite important to know that they're educated, that they know what they're talking about. So that's why I filled it out like this. You can see here my specialities, which again are really important because these are search words. So like strategic business and marketing plans. So I'm trying to think, when somebody's looking for me on social media, on LinkedIn, how are they going to find me? How are they going to find me in Google? So they might put in strategic business and marketing plans. They might put in market research, competitive analysis, ethnographic interviewing, social media marketing, all of these words, and they can find me through them. You can do geographic research or other search as well. They'll find me geographically. And so it's very, very important that I fill out all of these words and that I fill it out properly. Excuse me, because what it does is it helps people find me, basically. you can see here again, my experience, this is my work experience. Again, this is not in any way like Facebook. It's literally your education, your past work experience online. So, you know, I've done a lot of work with the University of Limerick in terms of helping them with their social media plans and their overall marketing strategies and to help to increase brand awareness. I've done work with, you know, myself basically. So that's actually 3 years integral marketing. I've changed it to M&D marketing. I've done work with TUI Education. There's some of my recommendations. You know, that's really important. When people are making decisions as to whether to hire me as a marketing consultant, they want to see that I've worked with several people. So it's very important for me to have those recommendations there. Now, as I scroll down, you can see there's a part here on LinkedIn whereby you can put in your skills and expertise. And basically you can put in, you know, words that are relating to your business. So for example, I put in social media marketing. I put in corporate social responsibility, company branding, brand audit, business planning, anything, any words I can think of that are in relation to business planning and to marketing. And really why I'm doing that is because these are the search words whereby people will find me online. Okay, so you can see here different languages that I can speak: English, Irish, German, French, and to what level. And also it shows me, you know, my education and kind of subjects I would have covered in that as well. Now here you can see, you know, the general page, you know, updates. So basically, Marna Good is now connected to Shane Madden, James Ryan is now connected to Noreen Clifford. So it's just giving me an indication of where everybody's at with their LinkedIn profiles and what they're doing. Okay, you can see here some stories coming out. So LinkedIn is a great place for getting stories of what's going on in the world in general and in business in particular. You can find really, really interesting articles that you can share, you know, on your social media if you're that way inclined, no matter what industry you're in. So this in relation to online retail, some really good and really well researched articles. So it's not just rubbish, it's really, really good articles, which is really good. Okay, so one way of you know, posting out your different elements of social media in general and in LinkedIn in particular is Hootsuite, hootsuite.com. And basically it's a way of actually posting. You can post to Facebook, you can post to LinkedIn, and you can post to Twitter as well. There's a free version and there is also a paid version as well. So essentially it's a platform whereby you can create all your links, you know, all your social media on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and you can send them all out at the same time. So you can pre-schedule basically. So it allows you to set up your post for the week or the month if you wish as well. So I suppose really kind of recommendations that I would make typically are B2B is typically LinkedIn and Twitter, typically. Now, every business is different. You need to sit down and see what's your objectives, what you want to do, who's your target market, where are they, what are they about, and where are they. So B2C then is Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and I don't have Instagram there, which I should. I suppose other recommendations are Google Analytics is really, really good. It's an excellent way of finding out how much traffic is going to your website, how long are they staying there, what pages are they staying on. Also, I tend to use Google Alerts. Google Alerts help to tell me if I am being mentioned in any way online. So they're just little recommendations. So what I'll do is I will switch again to my LinkedIn account as it now stands, because that's from a presentation that I created a while ago. So essentially what my LinkedIn profile looks like now. So first of all, you can see it's quite the same. You've got your home, you've got your profile, you can edit it, who's viewed your profile, your updates, my connections to keep in touch with them, add connections, find alumni, my education, the University Finder, Field of Study Explorer, and University Rankings. It tells me about jobs and any interests. So companies, groups, and Pulse then is where all of the news is. I'm on a free LinkedIn profile. You can pay for it if you'd like as well. And essentially, why would you pay? Well, you basically get more functionality. So you can reach out to more people. So for example, if you wanted to reach out to the CEO of a particular multinational, you may not be connected to him organically. So therefore, in order to send him an email, which is basically an email through LinkedIn, you need to be able to connect to him, right? So essentially what happens is in LinkedIn is they will allow you to send an email to him. So effectively an email to a CEO of a multinational, or indeed other people that you may want to create relationships, that is business relationships with. Okay, so I suppose again, we're looking at people you may know. You can connect to them. I can click there now if you wish. I won't right now. Pulse then recommends this type of news. Okay, so I have indicated various types of information that I'm interested in, and based on that, Pulse will recommend different things for me. So essentially, you know, Pulse is recommended struggling to change a habit. This may explain why. And different articles like this, the Emperor of the Internet, how I got the CEO of American Express to respond to my cold email, 5 lessons from Marissa Myers, 500 million career. You know, there's a lot of very interesting, relevant, and business articles on LinkedIn. So here it's showing you, which is recent functionality, is that you can congratulate people on their new job, say, like, well done, congratulations, all the rest of it. Also, it shows you who viewed your profile, so in the last 7 days. And there's a 1%, your rank for profile views improved by 1% in the last 15 days. And I suppose that just gives you an indication of whether, how well you're doing. Are people looking at your profile? You know, is it working? Are you getting business from it? Here you can see it saying unlock the full list with the LinkedIn Premium. That's where you can go with the paid version. And obviously with paid version, you have more functionality. But just for the purposes of this presentation, I am going to go into your profile, or my profile, I should say. And you can see here there's a graph, and it's showing me from November to December. So it's kind of like increasing slightly, then a huge dip around Christmas. Nobody was looking at my profile. And then you can see that people were starting to look at it up to about the January 11th. So it was like a peak, and then it's dropping as well. So if you're posting out articles, you can see whether people are looking at it, whether they're not looking at it. It's saying I have 79 profile views in the last 90 days. 8 viewers found me from LinkedIn search. Again, that shows you how important that is. 1 viewer who works at the University of Limerick, which is my alumni, and 5 viewers with the title Human Resource Specialist. So again, that shows that people, that human resource specialists and recruiters are looking to hire people with my skill set. So who's been looking at me? So you can see here, some of them, it'll just say LinkedIn member. So this person chose to be anonymous. So did this person. Today is 4 days ago, an information technology generalist in the financial services industry. So that you can actually stop people seeing who exactly is looking at your profile. Now, the thing is, if you pay for LinkedIn, it will allow you, or at least give you a list of potential people that this could be. So usually you can figure it out if you want to. Then you've got this lady, Sandra Honan, who's training administrator and media and communication professional, looking me up. And Sigrid van, I can't pronounce that. You know, so you might actually want to connect to them. You know, you might want to search, might want to send them a message, you know, can I help you? How can I help you? How can I serve you? And that would be important in business. You know, you're building relationships. That's what it's all about. Again, here's more really, really good, you know, quality business articles. So are your employees engaged? Again, this is a lot of people that are on here are working in big companies. So, you know, it's those type of articles that you tend to see. Here's somebody putting up 30 years at Awares, you know, 30 years running, and there's a golf event. So again, if you're trying to reach out from a charity perspective, you can utilize LinkedIn to tell people about different events. Again, who's your target market? It makes sense that for a golf event, you would target people on LinkedIn, because people that are working tend to use golfing for networking. So that would be really important. Okay. So looked here again at my LinkedIn network. I've been growing it significantly over the last year and a half, and I'm now up to 1,054 connections. And with those 1,054 connections, the multiplier effect is 11,321,410 professionals in my network in its entirety. So in other words, they're counting in the connections of my connections, if you like. So it just means that there's a possibility of all these people seeing me and what I do and getting in contact with me. And basically what you want is people to pick up the phone or to email you to use your services. You can see various different articles there. It makes more suggestions on people you may know, and then ads you may be interested in. Again, it's all based about HR director, social media, digital marketing. So it's related very much around the words that I would use in my profile. Okay, so I'll just scroll back up. I'm just doing this quite quickly because, again, I just want to recap over what I've been talking about in the presentation, and I want to show you what's important right now. I'm sorry, if you just look up here, you can see the search. So if I want to search for people with the digital marketing or even just accountant, something totally different, I will, hang on now, I will follow and find all the accountants. I can search via area, location, financial accountant, who's in my network, who's not. It says here Michelle Gleason, she's connected to me. It says first. Evelina is connected to me through somebody else. I'm not directly connected to her, and equally Richard Mahoney is as well. It just gives you a sense of if you want to find a professional with a specific job, you will be able to find them on LinkedIn, and that's how people find you too. So that's really important to understand. Now, also, if I was speaking about InMails. So you can see here, this is my InMail rather. So it's like your email really for all the world. Your email on LinkedIn is called InMail. So you can click in here. I can see that I have lots of messages. And really a lot of these are, an e-card, Christmas e-card, or people celebrating 20 years in business. Dave Sheehan puts out a lot of different articles and he sends them to my inbox, and you can do this as well. So it means you can target people within your network about specific subject matters as well. So, you've got different things going on there, different messages, but essentially they are emails or InMails on your LinkedIn profile. You can see here then it tells you, this little flag, it'll tell you, in your network, who has posted things. So Inga has published a new post, Brian Downs published a new post, Stephen Hughes. So any of the people you're connected to, it will show you their most recent post. So that's pretty cool because it saves you having to look back and see what everyone's posting. It will literally tell you who you're connected to and their most recent posts. You can see here then there is like the little person with a little plus sign, and these are various people that want to get to know me. So you can see here Sandra Honan, who looked at my profile, wants to connect with me, so I accept the invite. And the reason I'm accepting the invite is because I want to connect with people, build relationships with them, and not quite now, but I am preparing some e-courses, and essentially I want to be able to sell them online, and these are my potential target market. So hence, consistently looking and see, okay, Shaim, IT and marketing officer. To be honest, I would need to look in and see who he is, who he's connected to. Do I want to connect with him? Paul H, comparetravel.ie, car hire, Pat McLaughlin. I spoke to him before and he wanted to connect with me, so I'll say yes. So really all this is about building relationships, okay? People will want to connect with you. To be honest, nowadays, I really don't look to connect to other people. They tend to want to connect with me. And you can see, like, a lot of them are in digital marketing, or that's kind of their field. So you're director at Digi Display Ireland and compareireland.ie. It's all kind of online IT and marketing officers. So they're all trying to connect with me. So just going back then, what we have here then, I suppose, really is my profile. So I'll just show you some ways that my profile has changed over time from the actual PowerPoint presentation I showed you. So you can see here that I can add these words to my profile. And sorry, that these Mark here and 5 others have endorsed me. So these people endorse me for different specialities. So people endorse me for management, for business development, for digital strategy, for brand management and corporate branding. Okay, excuse me. Oh, my whole thing is starting to freeze. That's great. Here we go. So you can see I've changed my profile picture. So as time has gone on, I literally have just got a better picture, I think. It's more smiling. I feel like it's a little bit softer. And again, it's just, I've been doing a lot of stuff for a new website. So basically that's one of the profile pictures that I've chosen. You can see here then as well, when I highlight these different aspects of my profile, there's like a little icon for a pencil. And if you click here, it'll allow you to change. So I can change Emma Darcy, put different name, whatever the case is. It also allows me to change, my headline. And this headline is really important because this is what people see. This is the first indication of what you do on LinkedIn. So it's really important. So you can see here, I'm owner. A lot of people like to know you're a business owner. So that's why I put it in. You know, they want to know you're not just the administrator, that you are the person to talk to. So that's why I put in there. I did have director in before, but I preferred, or it seemed to be that people responded better to owner. So hence putting in owner. And that, what I mean by that is I'm a business owner. I own my own business. That business is M&D Marketing. So basically I'm a digital marketing strategist and I'm a social media trainer. So I want to get across in quite a short piece what it is I do. I'm CMO, which is Chief Marketing Officer at an app called Fun Kid Days, and I'm a speaker. Okay, so these are the areas that I'm working in right now and that I want to work towards. So the speaker element, I have done a lot of speaking engagements and I want to do a lot going forward. And essentially that's why I have it there. So if anybody looks at my profile and they want a speaker, that they know that's what I do. Okay, so I'm in Ireland and I'm in the marketing and advertising industry. So you state what industry you're in. My current profile, or my work placement really, if you like, is Fun Kid Days in M&D Marketing. My previous was University of Limerick, and just gives you the listing of them and my education as well. So you can see, you can edit all of these very, very easily. Again, can't highlight enough, you know, that you put in your profile picture and that it's smiling, and that your headline is really, really important as well. You can see here I have over 500 plus connections. You can put in volunteering opportunities now. You can add them, add organizations if you want to as well. Again, I have a summary there. And they see you can add in a document now, a photograph, a link, a video, a presentation. Again, these are great ways of showing what you can do. And that's really what you want to do, is you're showcasing your own expertise. You can see here with CMO of Fun Kid Days, what I do, part of that. And that's really, really important as well. So I'm an owner, social media trainer, digital marketing strategy, the MBA, done a lot of work with the university, and other work experience. I mean, I pretty much have like written a book. I've worked in so many different areas of sales. Like I said, I worked for Lidl Ireland, the German supermarket chain. So I worked in a lot of different places. I've also been a volunteer with different organizations for charity, and people have recommended me. I'm trying to think how many people have recommended me. I think it's about 6 or 7 or something like that. That's really important, that people recommend you. So Grace McDermott, 14 members for BitConf. These are my endorsements. So I have 64 people endorse me for social media marketing, 50 for digital marketing, 40 for market research, and so on and so forth. So you can see here, when you put in the words, that people would endorse you for them. So it's very important that you have them there. I've also written about, you know, Emmett also knows about these topics. The reason I'm putting in so many is because I want people to be able to find me. Okay, that's really important. Here you've got your languages. Again, you can add a language, you can edit what you put in just in case you've made a mistake as well. So my education, what it is I'm doing, MBA, Masters in Marketing and Business Studies, where I went to college, any other kind of accreditations that I have as well. So additional interests are horse riding, horse racing, walking, sailing, and skiing. So when I get time. So here we have recommendations. You can see Eva Bertissel has recommended me, Evelyn Pepperell, Una Ryan, Richard Bullins, Moira Geary, John Garvey, Mark Cahill, Katarina Callahan, and I really need to ask more. So this is what you do, is you ask to be recommended, okay? And they then get an email or an email to say that, you know, would you mind recommending me? And usually what you do is you know, if you've done a project or you've done work with people, that you literally just ask them to recommend you. And, you know, that's really important. You know, you've got to ask for the recommendation. That's how it works on LinkedIn. And it's really good for your profile if you do. Okay, so really that's all I can do in such a short amount of time. I've had to like speed talk my way through all of this. And, you know, it's what I would say is it's really important that LinkedIn is really important. I've got a tremendous amount of business through it. People constantly refer more to LinkedIn than they do to my website, to be honest. And, you know, I've got a lot of work from it. So I haven't got to show you the whole elements or all the elements of LinkedIn, but this should be a good way of, you know, just starting you off and getting you going in terms of what to do on LinkedIn. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I will, I am looking forward to hearing from anybody. And this is my first webinar, so hopefully it sounds okay and works okay. So thank you all for your attention. And if you have any questions, please go to emma@emmadmarketing.ie if you have any questions about any aspects of this. So it's emma@emmadmarketing.ie. Thank you. Now, where am I? Yeah. I'm still being broadcast, but I can't figure out where. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I'm back again. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it wasn't too boring. Actually, I think I need to work a little bit on my presentation skills on the webinar. It's a little bit more difficult than when you have people in front of you with nobody asking questions. And, I deliberately didn't ask anyone to sign in today because I wanted to see, would this work? Because it has not worked for a couple of times. So it's important to me that this is working. So for future webinars that I would do. So basically I'm putting in my email address if anyone that's not even out there has any questions. So I will be running more webinars in the future, and I hope you all enjoy this. So thank you so much for joining me.